Good morning. It is 9:18 Wednesday morning, and this is how it looks right now at Pensacola Beach. And that is an angry Gulf of Mexico. You see the waves crashing against the pier, the red flags flying in a very strong wind. Let's jump in and show you what's happening with Hurricane Michael, a Category 4 hurricane. What a dramatic presentation on the satellite right now. This is the visible satellite, and it starts this morning. We are looking here at a bigger picture of Michael. It is a big storm that covers 175 miles out in any direction, so a 350-mile wide storm all told. 145-mile-per-hour winds near the center, and the movement is now north-northeast at 13 miles per hour. The pressure continues to fall, even though it is very close to land now, about 60 miles off of Panama City. Still, there is some room for strengthening. It's got 145-mile-per-hour winds, and that is how it's forecast to make landfall at 1 o'clock this afternoon over this area that stretches from about Panama City to about Apalachicola. Once inland, it will start to wind down quickly and will leave our News 5 area pretty quickly as well. So this is not one that's going to linger like a Florence or a Harvey. It's going to move in, move out, but boy, while it's here, it is bad. This is a big storm. You can see that it stretches just the interior part of it stretches probably about 90 miles across, and we're looking at the potential of hurricane-force winds in places like Okaloosa County and Santa Rosa County, even though you are on what's considered the better side of this storm. If you're on the east side, you've got wind that's coming off the water with no trees, no buildings, no nothing to slow it down, and it's also pushing water up into the bays and rivers and onto the coastline. When you are on the west side, you're looking at water being pushed out and into the Gulf of Mexico, so you don't have the same storm surge issues that others would have. It. I got to tell you, this part of the world is so flat, it is really not built for storm surge, and it is going to be, in some places, perhaps devastating. So really a troubling time for Panama City Beach and Apalachicola. This will work its way out. We'll get a few bands of tropical storm force winds throughout the News 5 area. Already starting to see some of that. These bright orange bands here probably have some tropical storm force winds along with heavy rain through Panama City and parts of the northern Florida Panhandle. This is the center of the storm, about 60 miles offshore from Panama City, and we've had a lot of questions about the curve that we talked about yesterday toward the northeast. Well, here you can see it. I've got a line drawn due north, and this morning it was moving due north. I'm going to pick up the center of this about 4 hours ago, and you'll start to see how it arcs just subtly, but it does arc to the northeast, and it probably will amplify that turn a little bit more in the next couple of hours. All right, on the radar in our neighborhood, just some showers, rain showers, some heavy rain. We've seen a few wind gusts upwards of tropical storm strength. 20-mile-an-hour in Fairhope, 30 miles an hour at Pensacola NAS, 33 Mariester. We had a 40-mile wind gust a little while ago in Fort Walton Beach. So tropical storm winds for a lot of people, and hurricane force winds for some in the Florida Panhandle, heavy rain in bands, coastal flooding, and the weather worsening as we get toward the east. We mentioned a lot of people could feel tropical storm winds from this. Meteorologist Taylor Sorello joins me now.
Absolutely. So the yellow you see here, that is the extent of the tropical storm force winds with Michael, and you'll see covers much of the News 5 area as it does make landfall. Now this red circle here, that's where the sustained hurricane force winds are, and that's a very small circle. Likely we won't see sustained hurricane force winds in the News 5 area, but gusts up to hurricane force definitely likely in the areas that are under that hurricane warning, and elsewhere seeing tropical storm winds. So anywhere east of I-65 where that tropical storm warning is in place, it's a possibility that you're going to see some tropical storm force winds or even tropical storm force gusts. On top of that, we are watching a coastal flood advisory out for the entire News 5 coastline. That's because as Michael Michael continues to make its approach, we're seeing some water rise, and you'll see at Dauphin Island 2 feet of storm surge right now. Pensacola, same story. But as you head closer to where the center of the storm is, that's where the storm surge is getting worse. 3 feet in Panama City. Apalachicola, 4.5 feet right now. And as you move even further to the east with that onshore flow, watching even more storm surge in the Big Bend of Florida. This is the latest on the watches and warning. We've got a tropical storm warning out for southern Mobile, southern Baldwin, in our inland counties along into the east of I-65. On top of that, also that hurricane warning. So Pensacola, you're still in that hurricane warning. Okaloosa County. So areas in the hurricane warning, prepare for the possibility of some hurricane force winds as we move through the rest of the day today. As Michael does make its approach on the coastline, remember, expecting landfall sometime this afternoon near Panama City. Of course, download the free News 5 weather app. It'll keep you up to date on all of the latest going on with Michael, and stay tuned here to WKRG News 5. Here's a look at the next 7 days. So today, making it through Michael, 60% chance that you're going to see showers and thunderstorms mainly in the eastern half of the News 5 area. That's where the worst of the impacts are going to be for us. Now, as we head into the weekend and into next week, we've got a cold front coming through. That's going to bring us lower humidity, lower temperatures, and finally some fall weather.